Football is a sport filled with great relationships between players and coaches, but it's not always smooth sailing. Today, we'll talk about some of the most well-known cases of tense relationships between players and coaches that ended badly. From conflicts during training to public confrontations, we'll explore how these relationships broke down and what impact they had on the teams. The relationship between Jose Mourinho and Paul Pogba at Manchester United was very public and full of tension. From Mourinho's criticism of Pogba's attitude to Pogba being stripped of the captaincy, the clash affected the atmosphere in the team. Finally, Mourinho was dismissed in 2018. Pogba launched an attack on his former coach, saying to Sky Sports, "I once had a great relationship with Mourinho. Everyone saw that, and then the next day, I don't know what happened. That's the strange thing I had with Mourinho, and I can't explain it to you because even I don't know." Mourinho, however, didn't accept Pogba's version of events, replying, "I would say that I couldn't care less about what he says. I'm not interested at all." Luciano Spalletti was the coach who dared to bench Francesco Totti. The legendary Roma captain was already 39 years old and publicly criticized Spalletti for what he considered a lack of respect. Spalletti responded by leaving him out of the squad for the next match, triggering a storm in Rome. From that moment on, in every press conference, the bald coach downplayed Totti's contributions, no matter how legendary they were. Totti stated in his book that they almost came to blows, and that Spalletti was the main reason he decided to retire earlier than expected at 41. Zlatan's time at Barcelona under Guardiola was troubled. Despite his talent, Zlatan felt sidelined when Messi took the central role in the team. Ibrahimovic has publicly criticized Guardiola on several occasions, calling him a coward for not confronting him directly during his exit from the club. Ibra challenged Pep from day one, arriving in a Ferrari against the coach's initial warning. For Sir Alex Ferguson, football was his life. For David Beckham, however, football became just one part of his life as a superstar. The once strong relationship between the two deteriorated as Beckham's transformation from footballer to celebrity progressed, something that annoyed Ferguson. Beckham's work ethic, which Ferguson admired, began to fade. The tension built up until it exploded in 2003, Beckham's unexpected final year at Manchester United, when he began questioning his manager's authority. After a loss to Arsenal, Ferguson kicked a football boot in frustration, and it struck Beckham in the left eyebrow. Cristiano Ronaldo refused to come on as a substitute in a match against Tottenham, and left the pitch before the game was over. Erik ten Hag excluded him from the following match squad and made him train separately. Ronaldo bitterly complained about the coach, accusing ten Hag of deliberately provoking him and claiming that as a result, he had no respect for his manager. Shortly after, Ronaldo's contract with Manchester United was terminated mid-season, right before the Qatar World Cup. After leaving, the Portuguese star remarked that ten Hag had a negative attitude and that he felt betrayed by the club's leadership. When he was managing Inter Milan, Roberto Mancini referred to Mario Balotelli as one of his sons. In 2011, Mancini stated that Balotelli was as good as Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Later, when managing Manchester City, Mancini requested Balotelli's signing, convinced he could straighten him out. One of their most famous clashes occurred during a pre-season match against LA Galaxy, when Balotelli made a controversial play, prompting Mancini to immediately sub him out. In another episode, they wrestled in the middle of a rainy training session and had to be separated. Mancini declared many times afterward that he had had enough of Balotelli and that he had exhausted all his chances. During the 2002 World Cup, Roy Keane, captain of the Irish national team, had a monumental clash with coach Mick McCarthy. The dispute was so severe that Keane left the team before the tournament even started, creating a scandal in Ireland. The conflict arose from Keane's explosive reaction to what he considered inadequate preparation for the 2002 World Cup. The midfielder voiced his grievances to the Irish Times, understandably irritating McCarthy. When McCarthy confronted him about the interview, Keane's response became legendary. He said, "Mick, you're a liar. You're a fucking wanker. I don't rate you as a player, I don't rate you as a manager, and I don't rate you as a person. You're a fucking wanker and you can shove the World Cup up your arse. The only reason I have any dealings with you is that somehow you are the manager of my country. Shove it up your bollocks." In football, relationships between players and coaches are key to a team's success. However, when those relationships break down, the consequences can be devastating. These examples show us how even the best players and managers can clash and how it affects on-field performance. Do you know of any more cases like these? Let us know in the comments.